Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 14 of the Walk with Ethan Hockey Podcast. I'm your host, Ethan Black. And today we're done with the games from Friday, the NHL games from Friday the 15th through last night, May 17th, as well as for the games for tonight. I'm actually recording a day early on Monday, May 18th, instead of the usual Tuesday, as I'm actually going to be pretty busy tomorrow. So figured let's do a day early. So we'll just go over the games from tonight all the way up to Thursday. And talk about the game from, like I said, from Friday through Sunday. Same with the AHL, and go over some more playoff stats from our junior hockey and ECHL and all that. So let's just not waste any time. We'll jump into it. Started with the Friday, May 15th. It was originally supposed to be Colorado and Minnesota. That was supposed to be game 6, but that never happened due to Colorado winning on Wednesday over in game 5. So that series is over. So we go on to starting May 16th, 8 p.m. Eastern. Montreal Canadiens hosting the Buffalo Sabres, and Buffalo Sabres push it to Game 7 as Buffalo wins in Montreal with a score of 8-3. So Buffalo ties that series 3 apiece. We are having a Game 7 tonight. Zach Manta getting the power play goal 17 minutes for us into the third period to get his first of the playoffs. So your 3-star Revan Stellan from Buffalo Sabres, Jack Quinn, your second star, also from Buffalo Sabres, and Tage Thompson, your third star, also from Buffalo Sabres. So like I said, the series now officially tied 3 apiece. So they will go to winner takes all tonight as I'm recording. So they're right. So Buffalo's won game 1 and 4 and 6. So game 1 they won 4-2. Game 4 they won 3-2, and in game 6 they won 8-3. Montreal has won games 2, 3, and 5. In game 2 they beat them 5-1. In game 3 they won 6-2, and in game 5 they won 6-3. So about a mostly a 2 to 3 goal difference, but so yeah, they are tied up right now. So that is good for them. And the winner of this game by series will meet both Carolina in the Eastern Conference Finals. And we had no games on Sunday yesterday because that was also supposed to be Colorado miss on Game 7 if it did, and also that Saturday it was supposed to be Vegas and Anaheim on days their Game 7, but that never happened because Vegas won in 6. And then we go so the only game we got. So the games we got tonight are just games between like Montreal and Buffalo. Montreal is in Buffalo, and that's starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And we do have our semifinals, our conference finals. So for the East side, the winner of this series will take on the Metro Division champions, Carolina Hurricanes. So, uh, so games for 5 for 7 are if necessary. So game 1 will be at May 21st. We don't have the times yet for this series. So May 21st, winner of the series will go to Carolina for the first 2 games. Game 2 will be on May 23rd. May 25th, Carolina will visit either Buffalo or Montreal. Games 3 and 4, I should say. And if it does goes to 5, 6, and 7, game 5, Buffalo or Montreal will visit Carolina. Carolina will go back to Buffalo or Montreal for game 6. And if it does go to game 7, Carolina will host either Buffalo or Montreal. On the west side, the battle of former Stanley Cup champions, here's Colorado Avalanche won the Central Division, takes on the Pacific Division champions, Vegas Golden Knights. Colorado winning in 2022 and Vegas won a year later in 23. So games 1 and 2, Vegas versus Colorado. Game 1's May 20th at 8 p.m. They're all by the way 8 p.m. Eastern, by the way. With the game 4, I think that's at 9 p.m. Eastern. No, let me actually just double check that before. Yeah, it'll be at 9 p.m. Eastern. So basically, games 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7 are all 8 p.m. Eastern. Game 4 is the only one that's going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern. So games 1, 2, 5 if it does go to 5, and 7 if it goes to 7. Vegas will visit Colorado. And games 3, 4, and 6. 6 is the necessary. Colorado will visit Vegas. So game 1 will be on May 20th, 8 p.m. Eastern. Game 2 will be May 20th, also 8 p.m. Eastern. Game 3, May 24th, also 8 p.m. Eastern. Game 4 will be May 26th at 9 p.m. Eastern. Game 5, May 20th, 8 p.m. Eastern. Game 6 will be on May 30th. And Game 7 will be June 1st. So my predictions are for the Western Conference. Well, I got Colorado winning in 6. And for the Eastern Conference, really tough one, but I'm going to go with Carolina winning in 6 as well. So whoever it is. And back to the brief. So the Western Conference game will actually take place this Wednesday, and there's no games actually tomorrow. Either way, so day off tomorrow before we start the conference finals. So that is all the NHL stuff. Now we're gonna jump over to AHL, the American Hockey, keep going with their Calder Cup playoffs, division finals, quarterfinals, whatever you want to call them. So we're gonna go all the way to the Friday, May 15th. Sorry, my internet's just acting up there, so I do apologize. Coach F. Firebirds hosting Colorado Eagles, and they get the win with a score of 4-0 to tie that series up. So, like I said, they tied that series 1 apiece. And then over to Saturday, May 16th, we had 2 games on tap, both 7 p.m. Eastern. Game number 1, Grammars Griffins hosting Chicago again, and game number 2, and Chicago gets one with the win in overtime with a score of 4-3 to tie that. I started to take a 2-0 lead on that series. And in the North Division Finals, Cleveland Monsters hosting Toronto Marlies again for game 2, and they get the win with the score of 3-1. So Cleveland tying the series 1 apiece. And we go over to yesterday, Sunday, May 17th. 1 game on tap, 8:05 p.m. Eastern. Colorado Eagles, this time hosting the Coachella Valley Firebirds. This is game 3 between both teams, and Colorado gets away with a score of 4-1. So that Colorado takes that series 2-1. And we have no games on tap tonight, and then tomorrow, Tuesday, May 19th, we have 2 games on tap. Game 3 between Springfield Thunderbirds and the Wilkes-Barre Grand Penguins. That's the Lake Division Finals. Springfield is hosting the Penguins. That's at 7:05 p.m. Eastern. Then at 8 p.m. Eastern, Chicago Wolves is hosting the Grand Rapids Griffins for Game 3. Chicago looks to end their series with a clean sweep, but Grand Rapids looks to keep the series extending. And then on Wednesday, May 20th, we have 2 games on tap at 7 p.m. Eastern. Game 3, Trummars hosting the Cleveland Monsters. And at 9:05 p.m. Eastern, Colorado Eagles hosting the Coachella Valley Firebirds. That is game number 4 between both teams. So Colorado looks to end that series as well. And to close this week's shows, we're going to just go to some more playoff updates. So we'll start with back at the Q League. So we got our QG matchup represented for the 2026 Memorial Cup as the Shikumi Shawinigan for defeating the Moncton Wildcats. Both teams were in the Eastern Conference here. Moncton Wildcats took first place in the regular season, while Shikumi was second place. But Shikumi went on their home ice with a whopping score of 5-1. So they take that series 4-2. So in game 1, May 8th, Moncton beat Shikumi 5-2. That was on the first 2 games were on Moncton's home ice. Games 3 and 4 were in Shikumi's ice. Game 5, they went back to Moncton, and game 6 was in Shikumi. But if they went to game 7, they went back to Moncton. But Shikumi wins it with this, like I said, score 5-1 in that series 4-2. But game 1, May 8th, Moncton won that 5-2. Game 2 on May 9th, Shikumi beat Moncton 3-2. Game number 3 at 7 p.m. Eastern, Shikumi beat Moncton at 5-4 in overtime. For Moncton winning back on Shikumi's home ice with a score of 4-3. That was on May 13th. Then on game 5, Shikumi beat Moncton on their home ice, making a whopping comeback with a score of 7-6. They were losing 4-0 before Shikumi made a comeback, which it was fucking awesome. Before Shikumi winning it in 6-5-1. So we have our 4 representatives for the Memorial Cup, and we actually do have the schedule, which I'll go over right quick. That is actually starting on Friday. So the Memorial Cup is basically like the Canadian Hockey League, the junior league version of the Stanley Cup. So WHO technically has 2 representatives because the Kelowna Rockets is in Kelowna, British Columbia, Canada, so they are hosting the Memorial, so they automatically get in. So right now we have 9 days for this Memorial. It is starting on May 22nd, ending on Sunday, May 31st. So the schedule is on day 1, that would be this Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. The OHL champions, Kitchen Richards, will take on the hosting team, Kelowna Rockets. Then on Saturday, May 23rd, Ever Silvertips, who are the WHL champions, will take on the Gales Couture Trophy Chikumi, showing representing the Q League. Day number 3, May 24th. But all these games are at 9 p.m. Eastern, with the exception of the finals. That's at 7 p.m. Eastern. Excuse me. Shikumi is going back to back on the weekend as Sunday, May 24th. They will take on the hosting team, Kelowna Rockets. Day 4, May 25th, Ever Silvertips take on Kitchen Rangers. There we go. Say that 10 times fast. Day 5, May 26th, Shikumi will take on Kitchener Rangers. And then to close of the round robin portion on day 6, May 27th, Kelowna Rockets will take on the Ever Silvertips. And first of all, we have a lot of unbreakable tiebreakers on that'll be Thursday, May 28th. We'll have a tiebreaker game. Semifinals, that'll be on May 29th. And then the finals will be on Sunday, May 31st. That'll be at 8 p.m. at 7 p.m. Eastern. So whoever wins this will take the 2026 Memorial Cup. So that is some junior hockey talk. And then we're going over to ECHL. They're continuing their Kelly Cup playoffs. 16 teams, 4 from the Central Division, 4 from the Mountain Division. That's their Western Conference. And the North and South are from the Eastern Conference. So right now we are still in the quarterfinals. The only 2 games we're waiting on are from the Central Division, Fort Wayne Comets and the Toledo Walleye. The winner of that series will meet the Mountain Division champions, the Kansas City Mavericks. And the Florida Everblades from the South Division will take on the winner of the William Neers Maine Mariners series. So Fort Wayne Comets, they faced their quarterfinals when they beat Indy Field with winning that game at series in 5, 4-1. Walleye, they defeated Blue Bison in 6 games, 4-2. Kansas City Mavericks in the first will beat Tyler Knight Monsters, clean sweep in 4-0. Out Americans beat the Idaho Steelheads in 5 games, 4-1. In the North Division, William Neers defeat Ray Royals, also in 5 games, 4-1. Maine Mariners defeat Adirondack Thunder in 6 games, 4-2. Series score. Florida Everybody's clean sweep the Savannah Ghost Pirates 4-0. And the South Carolina Stingrays defeat the Atlantic Gladiators in 6 games. Then in the quarterfinals, the series between Fort Wayne and Toledo right now is 3-2. Fort Wayne's actually leading that series. They won the first 3 games. Game 1, 4-1. Game 2, 3-0. And game 3 was 4-2. For Toledo, I came back in games 4 and 5, winning in overtime in game 4, 3-2, and then beating them 4-1 in game number 5. So we have game 6. So that'll be on actually tomorrow at 7:35 p.m. Eastern. Toledo looks to tie the series while Fort Wayne wants to end it. Kansas City Mavericks in the Mountain Division, they defeated the Americans, clean sweeping them again 4-0. So Kansas City continuing their undefeated streak, pulling the Carolina Hurricanes. They won in 4 games. So game 1 on May 9th, they beat them 2-1. Then in game 2 on May 10th, 1-0. Game 3 on May 13th, 7-4. And then on May 16th, they beat them with a score of 5-3. William Neers and Maine Mariners, they're still going on. Their series is tied at 3 apiece. William Neers has won games 1, 2, and 6. Game 1, 4-3 in overtime. Game 2, 4-1. And then game 6, also in overtime, but it was only 2-1. Maine Mariners, they won games 3, 4, and 5. Game 3, they beat them 6-3. Game 4, 2-1 in second overtime. And then game 5, they won 5-3. So the winner of that series will take on the Florida in the semifinals. And speaking of Florida, they defeated the South Carolina Stingrays in 5 games, 4-1. They won games 1, 2, 3, and 5. Game 1, they won 3-0. Game 2, 6-2. Game 3, 7-3. And game 5, 3-1. South Carolina only winning 3-1 in game 4. So that's your ECHL updates. And we're going to go over to the British Columbia Hockey League. They got their Rogers Cup finals going on right now between the Interior Conference champs Brook Bands and the Coastal Conference champ Dan Hebo Clippers. And that series is tied 1-1. For them, for the Cup, it's best of 7. So right now, so on game 1 on May 15th, the Clippers beat the Bands 3-1. For the Bands, came back a day later in game 2 with the score of 2-1 in second overtime. Their next game will be tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern, May 19th, where Brook Bands will visit the Hebo Clippers. Then on May 20th, also 10 p.m. Eastern, bands are back visiting the Clippers. And if it does go to games 5, 6, and 7, so game 5, May 22nd, Clippers will visit the Bandits. Game 6, May 24th, Bandits will visit Clippers again. If it does go to game 7, Clippers will be back visiting the Bandits on May 26th. So that series, like I said, is tied right now. Then we got the USHL Calder Cup playoffs going on right now. This is the best of 5 between, just like the President's Cup, this finals is best of 5 between the Eastern Conference champions, the Mescon Lumberjacks, and the West Conference champions, Sioux Falls Stampede. And that series right now, Stampede is taking a 2-0. Game 1, May 15th, they won 3-1. And in game 2, the next day at 7 p.m., they won 3-0. So the next game is May 22nd at 7:10 p.m. Eastern. Stampede looks to clean sweep they are visiting the Lumberjacks, by the way. They're going to be in the Lumberjacks rink. But the Lumberjacks looks to extend the series to game 4. If it does go to game 4, it would be May 23rd, 16 p.m. Eastern, with the Lumberjacks hosting the Stampede again. And if we are tied up, we go to game 5 on May 26th, 7:05 p.m. Eastern, where the Lumberjacks will be in the Sioux Falls Stampede rink. So let's see who comes there. And with the close of the episode, we'll go to the PWHL Calder Cup. Here, give some lady hockey some love here. So they have semifinals and finals. Ottawa Charge and Montreal Victoria. If Montreal is actually winning that series 2-0, they got a best of 5 going on right now for their Calder Cup. So Montreal winning in games 1 and 2. Game 1 May 14th with the score 3-2. And at May 16th at 2 p.m. Eastern, that was Saturday, 2-1 overtime. So they look to win on Ottawa's home ice actually tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern, in a couple of hours. If Ottawa does push it to game 4, they'll host them again on May 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern. And if it goes to game 5, that'll be May 23rd at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Ottawa visit Montreal for that one. So that's all your hockey updates, ladies and gentlemen, and your NHL and AHL stuff. I'm your host, Ethan. I'll be back. Should be back on Thursday to tell with the games from this past week. Have a good week, guys, and stay safe.